Hey, what's up guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Super Quantum deck, aka Power Rangers the deck. So this deck is a really fun deck that just got support in Dark Neostorm. I'm really excited to play this deck because it's kind of like Power Rangers. I mean, it's kind of like Zodiac where you can make one card XYZ plays, which is really cool, and with the ship and the field spell, and I really think this deck has a lot of potential in it. It's a lot of fun, and it's just really amazing to be able to summon Super Quantal Mech King Great Magius in its actual deck without doing something like Waking the Dragons or something like that, where you rank up into it some weird way without being able to use it. And it actually can get all 6 of its materials, so your opponent cannot add cards or effects to their hand by card effects, which is pretty cool. So it becomes Mistake. It's unaffected by all card effects except for Super Quantums, and 2 or more. Once per turn during either player's main phase, you can detach material from this card and shuffle a card in your opponent's field in the deck without targeting it, which is just really cool. And I really love this card. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 3 Super Quantum Mech Beasts XYZs from your with different names from your graveyard. So it can be really amazing. It's a really good card, and I'm really excited to show you guys this deck. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So we're going to be playing 3 copies of the Super Quantum White Layer. So Super Quantum White Layer is basically the main boy we want to get. You can send a non-light Super Quantum monster from your hand to the grave, special summon this card from your hand in defense position. And then when this card is normal or special summon, you can send a Super Quantum monster from your deck to the hand or deck to the graveyard. And if you do, this card's attribute and level become that monster's attribute and level. So it can really help you out by being able to normal summon something like blue and then send a blue, and it becomes that level and attribute, so you can overlay them together to make a Super Quantum monster. That's why it has all of them floating around. And then it's really cool. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Super Quantum Fairy Alpha from your deck or graveyard to your hand, which is cool to be able to roll into the Fairy Alpha, because Fairy Alpha is like the big main card of the deck that you want to get to. Then we play Super Quantum Red Layer. The reason we play Red Layer is because it's kind of like Cyber Dragon. You're supposed to summon it to your field if you have no monsters. And then also it gains these effects. When this card is normal or special summon, you can target Super Quantum in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target Super Quantum in your graveyard and then special summon it, but cannot activate its effects, which is not that big of a deal because you just want to use it for overlay fodder anyways. Then we play 3 copies of Super Quantum Green Layer. So Green Layer is, I think, one of the, it's not the best one, but it's pretty good. It's probably the worst of the best. But when this card is normal summon, you can special summon a Super Quantum monster from your hand, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can discard a Super Quantum card and draw 1 card. So it's okay, but it's not as good as like blue, red, and white, but it's good. Then we play 3 copies of Super Quantum Blue Layer. So Blue Layer is really good because when this card is normal or special summon, you get to add a Super Quantum from your deck to your hand. So it's kind of like the Stratos of the deck. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to target up to 3 Super Quantum cards in your grave, shuffle them into the deck, which is really good to be able to recycle resources like recycling your white layers, which is really nice. Then I play 3 copies of Fairy Alpha. We play 3 copies of Fairy Alpha because once per turn, you can target a Super Quantum monster you control. All face-up monsters currently you control become that monster's level, and you contribute this card to reveal 3 Super Quantum monsters with different names in your deck, and your opponent randomly picks 1 to special summon to your field. And then you send the rest to the grave. But that's really good to be able to get Super Quantums on the field and be able to make them the same level, which is really important in this deck to get level matching. Then, for consistency, I play 3 copies of Volcanic Shell. Shell is really good to be able to discard off of your ship, which is your field spell, which I didn't understand until I started playing the deck. But this actually causes you to discard 1 card from your hand, then target a Super Quantum monster you control, and special summon a monster from your extra deck. So this pays the cost for basically 500. It changes the effect to say, pay 500 to activate this effect. And it thins your deck. So I play 3 Volcanic Shell. Plus it's a level 1 that you can normal summon and link into Linkuriboh if you need to. So I think Volcanic Shell is a genius tech, and I really like it in this deck. Then I play 3 copies of Ash Blossom and 2 copies of Effect Veiler just to stop my opponent from doing all sorts of the shenanigans that they normally do, to be able to do my plays where they stop theirs. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. This is a really interesting tech, though. I really like playing this. I saw somebody else playing this on YouTube when I was looking up, like, decks, and then I play tested it 1 or 2 times. And I was like, wow, that's really, really good. And I started playing with it a lot more, and, you know, I fell in love with the tech. It's been a while since I've been playing it. I don't remember exactly who had that tech, but I saw somebody had it. And so I used it. I play tested it when this white layer first came out about a month ago, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty decent. So we're going to be playing 3 copies of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is really good to stop our opponent's hand traps. 1 copy of Monster Reborn because you want to bring back your stuff, and maybe your opponent's stuff. 1 copy of Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin's really good to make it a 39 card deck. It's for consistency reasons. You just want to use your engine cards all the time. Foolish Barrel to send stuff to grave, like the Foolish, or the, oh god, what is it called? The Volcanic Shell to the graveyard. 1 copy of 1-for-1 to special summon the Fairy. 1 copy of Emergency Teleport. This is a special summon blue layer, so it's like you're playing literally 4 copies of blue layer. 2 copies of Terraforming to search the ship. 3 copies of the ship, which I like the ship a lot. Super Quantum Mecha, or Mecha Ship, is really good. Magna Carrier. Basically, this is the card you need to get on the field as quickly as possible, because you can discard a card, and then you get to target a Super Quantum monster you control, and then special summon the corresponding XYZ monster. So for instance, if I have, this is why it's Zoo, you get to basically put, like, red layer down, discard Volcanic Shell from your hand. This is the big combo of the deck. And then you get to special summon the tiger, or the lion, from your deck, or your extra deck, on top of it, which is really cool. I really like that about this deck. It's really neat that you can do that. It's something that other decks have done, like Zodiac and stuff like that. And I still would like to see some Zodiac cards come off the list so I could actually play Zodiacs on this channel. But basically the other effects is that you can also, after you special summon that card, you get to, where is it? You can send this card from your field zone to the graveyard, then target 3 Super Quantum Mech Beast XYZ monsters with different names you control, and or in your graveyard, and then you can special summon a Super Quantum Mech King Great Magius from your extra deck. And if you do, attach all those monsters as materials to that monster. So if you have all of them with 1 material each, he gets 6 materials and he becomes Mistake. If they all have 2, he gets 9 materials, and he gets big and mean. He gets really mean. So that's amazing. I really love that. And then I play 3 copies of Super Quantum Alphean Call Appeal. I really like this card. I really wish more people would play this. If a Super Quant monster you control is destroyed by battle, you get to special summon a Super Quantum Mech Beast XYZ monster from your extra deck. Then you can special summon a Super Quantum monster from your deck, hand, deck, or grave that's specifically listed on the XYZ monster in its text but negate its effect. So basically it summons the pilot and the beast as well onto the field to replace the one that just got destroyed. So it's a really good replacement card, and it really breaks you even on playing it, and I really like that. So that's it for the spells, guys. I do play 1 trap in the deck because I think it's really good, and that is 1 copy of Super Quantum Mech Sword Magna Slayer. You get to target Super Quantum XYZ monster you control, equip this card to it, and it gains attack equal to its rank times 100, which can make Great Magius go up by 1200, which is big. And then if it attacks, also if it attacks event special monster, you inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. And during the battle phase, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard. The monster that's equipped with this card can make 3 attacks during the battle phase this turn, which is big because he can OTK your opponent really, really easily that way. And I really like that about him being able to OTK your opponent super fast with just this 1 sword. Like, I kind of want to play it at 2 and drop Upstart down to 1 because that's really cool, and I really love that. And you can actually, like, do multiples of these equipped to him and make him really big really fast. So for the extra deck, guys, that's it for the main deck. Let's get in the extra deck. For the extra deck, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Super Quantal Mech King Great Magus, which we went over at the beginning of the video. Basically, he's a Mistake. He can send stuff to the graveyard. by materials, or by detaching a material, and he also is unaffected by cards effects except for super quantums. When he has 4, when he has 2, you can detach material, banish stuff, and then if he has 6, he becomes a mistake for materials. Then we play double Luster Rex. You basically play 2 of all of the Super Quantal Mecha Beasts. I want to say Mecha Phantom Beasts, but Mecha Beasts. But basically, it cannot attack unless it has materials. I think all of them have that ability where they cannot attack unless they have materials. Yeah, they do. They all share that ability. And then they have the effect of you can detach a material from this card and then target an effect monster your opponent controls, negate that face-up monster's effects until the end phase of the turn. And the quick effect, if this card has Super Quantum White Layer as a material, once per turn, you can attach 1 Super Quantum monster from your hand or field as material to this card. 2 copies of the Red Beast. It cannot attack unless it has materials, and you detach a material from this card, then target a monster on the field and destroy it. And this card can be activated during either player's turn, which is really cool. I really like this card. And then if this card has red layer as a material, you can attach a Super Quantum monster from your hand or field to this card. All of them share that ability, which is really cool. 1 copy of Ouroboros. Ouroboros lets you detach a material from this card and then target another face-up monster on field, change it to face-down defense position, and then this card can be activated during either player's turn, which is really cool and is really big for being a level 4, rank 4. I really like that about it for having 2400 defense. Then we play 2 copies of Grand Pulse. Grand Pulse is basically MST, essentially. And then I play 2 copies of the new Neo Super Quantal Mech Beast King Mecha or Blaster or Magna. Wow, that is a long name. But basically, this card cannot be link summoned unless you use at least a Super Quantum monster. And then this card's link summon cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. And each time a Super Quantum XYZ monster with a different name, you control a special summon from the extra deck to a zone this card points to, you get to draw a card. And if a face-up XYZ monster you control this card points to is destroyed by battle or by opponent's card effect, you can special summon a Super Quant monster from your deck with the same original attribute as that one of the destroyed XYZ monsters, and you can only use this effect once per turn. You can only use this effect of Mecha Phantom Beast once per turn, or the Mecha King Blaster Magnia once per turn. Then, for the generic ones, we play 1 copy of Borreload, Boral Sword, Linkuriboh, and Beat Cop. We play this engine because Linkuriboh works with the Fairy, and then these and the Volcanic Shell. This is just generic to get the Link Arrows in case you need to summon like 2 of the Super Quantals into, like, you need to summon like him and Luster Rex at the same time. And then these 2 are just to OTK your opponent. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's really fun to play around with. I cannot recommend this deck enough. It's super, super fun to be able to summon the big Magnia King and actually have all the materials on it and just be like, at your opponent, be like, you can't do nothing. Like, you can't add stuff. You can't be targeted and destroyed. He's like unaffected by everything, and like, I'm just gonna OTK you with him and just like beat you into the ground with him. So it's really fun to be able to play him, and I really like this card. It's super, super fun, and I've actually had this since Wing Raiders came out and this deck was first like released, and I really wanted to play it, but I just didn't feel like the deck had enough, and now it does. So anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.